All right, guys, so this is a fun one. In for sales, we made $6,850. We're gonna break it down for you and tell you exactly what the numbers were to be able to make that kind of money.
Yeah, we're not big fans of just sharing revenue. So many people do it online, so many people, and it's like, it's not the number. Like, that is not the number. Of course, you know, it's in the title, but that, like, we want to break it down because the biggest number that matters is the profit. Like, if you, I see it all the time and it drives me nuts. Like, you can't, if you're making $1 million but you're spending $1 million to make $1 million, like, that doesn't make any sense. Like, it doesn't make any sense. Like, just so you can say that, drives me crazy. So we're going through all of our fees, shipping costs, cost of goods, and then of course the profits.
So a little sneak peek, we didn't spend $6,000 to make $6,850.
No,
we hardly spent anything, but we will get down to that in just a second. Fun stories with this. I was also thinking about these. So we sold 4 items, and a lot of people ask us how long we sit on items a lot of times. And I'll sit on items for a while when I know what the price is and I know that I have a price. I will sit on some items because I know what I'm doing in this business. I've been doing it for a long time. But these items, it's pretty cool, and I think about them. And as we go through and tell you what these items are, I'm going to tell you how long it was listed, roughly. I'm not going to give you exactly because I don't know to the day, because I just thought about this in my mind. But I'm going to tell you how long we actually sat on this item before it sold and give you kind of a little backstory on that as well. So let's go ahead and kick it off. It's going to be a fun one. It's only 4. Love it to make over $6,000 in revenue for items that we sold. You guys might remember the episode before this, we were talking about 10xing your business. This is how you do it. This is the key. So pay attention, take some notes. This is how you go to the next level if you want to do it.
So we talked about this on the last episode as well, but the Panini Press let's go with our first item.
Sweet. So Panini Press, we told you guys the story. The Panini Press, we bought it at the local flea market. We paid $45 for it.
$45.
Paid $45 for it. We actually had it. Melissa's fine.
I get the credit.
We actually had this for less, I believe once it was listed, less than 2 weeks. It actually sat on eBay and sold, and it sold for $1,500.
Yep.
I did free shipping on this too, correct?
You did.
So free shipping on that, so $1,500. We invested $45 to make $1,500. That is amazing. That is awesome. And that is the possibility in this business that you can totally do this.
And it probably 3 or 4 hours, like going to the flea market, which we were going to do anyway.
Yep.
Like an hour at the flea market. How much time listing it? An hour, and an hour shipping it. Like,
Less
I mean,
than an hour.
that's giving like being overly.
At the most, you'd probably say 3 to 5 hours, and that's even pushing it at the 5 hours because this was not a big item. It didn't go on a pallet, any of that kind of stuff. It actually just went in a box. So on the high side, maybe 4 to 5 hours, but I feel like it was probably 3 to 4 hours is what we spent total on this for the $1,500.
All right, so shipping costs were $103.
$103, and like I said, went in a box. This one went with UPS.
And eBay fees were $197.
$197 is what eBay charged us to sell on their platform.
Profit was $1,155.
Over $1,000, guys. $1,000 in profit for maybe 3 to 4 hours time invested into it. I love it. I'll take it all day long. An amazing flip.
And that one did go quick. I will say the stuff does sell. Your bottleneck is getting it listed.
Exactly.
So, and
that's
we
what
know
I'm getting
that,
to.
and that's what we're working on. All right, so on to the next one, the range.
Number 2, the range. And we picked this up coming back from a vacation we were taking down with the kids in the Florida Keys. I looked for an item that we could try to pay for the vacation. I found a range. Really cool range. We picked it back up. It was probably about 2 hours north of where we were in the Keys on our way back home. We picked up this range, paid $120 for it, and sold it the same thing. It was about 2 weeks after I got it listed, maybe less than that. 2 weeks it was listed, and it sold for $3,400. Killer deal for a $120 investment, $3,400 that we sold. Let's break down the numbers of what actually went into this to make this investment.
All right, so
this sale.
$120, you bought it off a marketplace.
$120 for the item.
eBay costs were $335.
$335 we paid to eBay.
Shipping cost was $382.
$382, which that's crazy. $382 is what it cost us to ship this, and this did go on a pallet. A little side note, guys, and like we talked about earlier with the 10x portion of the business, I did not need a forklift. I only needed a hand truck, which a lot of people have a hand truck to be able to move something around. It's an appliance. I used the hand truck to actually move it around off of my trailer. I actually didn't even use a trailer to pick this up. I used an extended hitch. But I used the hand truck to move it around where I needed to take pictures, all that kind of stuff. And I used the hand truck to set it onto the pallet. Once I got it onto the pallet, I actually slid it up onto the trailer because I have a little 4x8 trailer that's how I moved it around once I got it onto the pallet. So all that being said, didn't take any crazy equipment, didn't take anything super expensive to do this, and total profit on this item was
$2,563.
over $2,500. And this one might have taken me a little bit more time because of it was a pallet, so I actually put it on a pallet. I did this one.
It was dirty too. You had to clean it.
Clean it, yeah. And I did actually build a frame around this, which I typically don't do with pallets, but I tried to make sure that this one was going to arrive safely. But that's what it took me a little bit more time for this. So I would definitely say we had a couple more hours invested into this one than the $1,500 one that we sold. But still, at the same time, I'll do it all day long for a $2,500 profit.
Yeah, awesome.
All right, number 3.
Number 3 was the Abson panels.
So the Abson panel,
it was the hardware.
The hardware to sell Abson panels. So this is cool. We bought these probably a couple years back, to be honest with you guys. We bought them a couple years back, and they've been sitting in my warehouse. Like Melissa said, what our bottleneck is, they've been sitting in my warehouse since we bought them, which is probably a couple years. I haven't had them listed. I went over there the other day and I'm like,
they can't sell.
No,
they cannot sell if they're not listed.
I went over there the other day and I'm like, and to be honest with you guys, I have crates of these. I have probably 6 or 8 crates of these that are full of probably 70, 80 of these exact units, 70 to 80 per crate, maybe even more than that. But I have crates of them, and I just had them at the shop, and I didn't do anything with it. I'm like, I'm gonna list one of these to see if I can sell it. I listed them, and these listed for about a month, so they were listed for about a month. Had them for years, but I didn't have them listed, and there's nothing to them. It's just hardware to hang up. They're probably about this big. Hardware to hang up. Do I have one in here? Because I had one extra one.
I don't think so.
Before I shipped it. I do! It's right here. So this is it. This is all it is. Hardware to hang up. If you're watching the video with podcast, sorry guys, you can't see this. But if you're watching it, this is it. We sold 12 of these. But they're sitting in a crate, multiple crates at my shop right now. But we sold them for, 12 of them for $1,800?
12 panels for $1,560 plus $240 for shipping. So yes, $1,800.
$1,800 with shipping is what we sold them for. And they had, like I said, once I got them listed, less than a month they were listed and they were sold. And I have the other ones too, so people can keep buying these things. But at the same time, these were only listed for a month. Once they got listed, they actually sold. So $1,800 was the total, including shipping, because we deduct shipping on it once we give you the true number. So what were the totals for
cost of goods for these we figured at $5 each, because you bought it as a lot with a whole bunch of screens. Yep. So and you have how many of these? I
didn't want to say free, but at the same time, guys, I probably paid pennies for these because of how many of these that I have and all the LED screens. So we just said $5 a piece, put us at $60 for cost of goods. It's kind of hard to break it down because I got so much stuff. I only paid $2,500 for everything that I got. This was $1,800 just for 12 of these, and I told you I have hundreds of these. So it's not a true accurate depiction of what we actually paid, but I didn't want to say we didn't pay anything for it either. So we put $5 a piece on these.
So $60. eBay fees were $197.
$197.
Shipping cost was $102.
$102 for shipping,
which brings the profit to $1,441.
Just under $1,500 for this as well. And these actually went in a box, so not a big deal. The longest portion of this was actually setting up the videos, like we told you guys, setting up the videos to train the people that we help, our students in this business. I like to do trainings and I like to show them exactly how we do stuff so they can learn from it as well. So
and that takes you a lot longer.
It takes me a lot longer to set it up and do editing and all that kind of stuff. So that's what takes the longest portion of this. But still almost $1,500 on this, and it took me about a month once I got them listed to just sell these.
So does that motivate you to get all your other stuff listed?
Absolutely.
That you have in your shop?
We have thousands, hundreds of thousands of dollars that is not listed, but that is my goal. I'm getting better at getting stuff listed so it can sell, because it cannot sell if it's not listed.
Nope.
So, all right.
Maybe even hire that out if you need to.
Number 4.
Number 4, where am I, is the stretcher bags.
Yep. So this is a striker. It's an attachment for a striker stretcher. All it is a zip bag that they actually put straps and gloves and different things on the back of like a stretcher that you would think of an ambulance stretcher. This I did say was free. So we bought 12 of these
You
units.
guys might remember these stretchers from last year because they were a hot sale item last year for us.
Yeah.
So
So I bought 12 of these stretchers. We ended up paying $2,200 for all 12. Sold them for over $35,000. That's what they brought us. We sold them lickety split. They were quick when we brought these stretchers in and we sold them. Some of the stretchers, I pulled some of the attachments off of them so I could sell them separately. So this is one of the attachments that I pulled off. We said there was no cost of goods on this one just because
we've already counted the cost of all the stretchers.
yeah,
so.
and I made way more money on the stretchers than I ever could have dreamed. So anyways, this was something that also I've had it. I pulled it off the stretchers when I actually sold them, and I probably got this one listed, I would say probably 6 months ago. Very small, tiny thing, went into a bag, not that big, but I probably got it listed for 6 months. So on being honest, this one probably sat on a shelf inside of my trailer. I wasn't worried about it. It's not that big, but probably sat for 6 months before it actually sold. We said zero money spent on it, and what were the rest of the fees? eBay fees? Oh, I didn't even say how much we sold it for.
$150.
$150 we sold this for.
Yep.
And the eBay fees were
$20 and shipping cost was $5, so $125. Now, did you pull these off of all the stretchers or only the last couple?
the ones that I sold without. So how it worked was 12 stretchers. We had some with attachments, some without attachments, and I sold some of them with pictures from the single stretcher that I took pictures
so
of.
that's what you did.
So if I took a picture of a stretcher and then I had multiple ones that might have had attachments and stuff on it, but the first one that I took the pictures of didn't have them off, I pulled them off and then I actually shipped them out just like the pictures were that I took on the original one.
Just for reference, we bought those 12 stretchers for $2,200 and we ended up making over $35,000 on them.
Yeah,
so
it was 35 and some change.
Yeah, which
and
was
those
really,
were quick. Those were within months. We had all those sold. So
no, one was later because you took a while to list it. Just that last one because it had some,
listing, like always, guys. Listing, get to listing and make
it had
some
something
money.
different. So, but the other one sold fast. But then that one you waited to get it listed, so it sold a little bit later. But those were a great one for us last year. So
that's it.
And they're still giving it to us.
They are, and I still have a couple more components that I do have them listed, and they're not sold yet. So I have a IV bag that you hang an IV bag from off of. I had to take 2 of those off, so I think I have 2 of those that are listed right now, but they're listed for some good money. I think either $300 or $500 because striker stuff is very expensive. Yeah. So these attachments are expensive. So all right, that was 4 sales for you guys. We ripped through it. 4 sales. Do you want to know bottom, top line, everything?
Yeah.
We're gonna give that to you right now.
All right, so total sales was $6,850.
$6,800
for 4 items. Cost of goods, which is always exciting for us, $225. So
okay, so guys, come on, this is amazing. Can you imagine making $6,000 and all you invested? You remember we broke down everything else, but all you invested up front was $225 to do that. That is what is at your fingertips. You have the potential to do this as well. Amazing. Only 4 sales, invested $225 to make $6,800 in gross
but that
revenue.
wasn't the profit. We'll do
no
the profit in a
profit,
second.
but we always want to tell you the profit.
eBay is $749, and then shipping cost was $592, which brings our total profit to $5,284.
Still over $5,000 in profit off of a $225 investment. Totally awesome. That's over 20xing. Like our goal is really, we try to stick at 10xing, but this is over 20xing our initial investment. That is amazing. That's awesome. That's why we absolutely love this business.
Yeah, and if you are new around here, like that is the filter we use to go when we're sourcing. Like we're like, okay, if I'm going to spend $100 on this, is it going to bring in $1,000? So that's kind of our meter to know, because that gives us enough wiggle room for eBay fees, shipping costs, and still make enough for it to be worth our time. So that's kind of the filter we look through things for. So, but some of these are more than that, which is always fun too.
Yeah.
So, but that's kind of our goal when we're sourcing different items. So we're not looking to spend $200 and have it bring in $300. Like it should be bring in $2,000. So otherwise, you don't have enough profit margins to make it worth your time.
And we get a question a lot. Is that gross? Is that net when you're actually trying to 10x? And the answer is yes. It is. You have money, period, whether it's gross or net. If it is gross,
but they're both important.
Exactly. It is, but if you do count the gross at 10x, you still have enough to be able to make a really good net on that gross. That's the goal. So if you stick with that, you're going to make really good money in this business. If that's the criteria, or that's the formula that you use when you're actually debating whether you're going to buy an item to actually flip it.
And I will add that you started having more sales last month when you started listing again.
Yep.
So, and now you haven't listed stuff in a couple weeks.
We've been in a conference. We've been busy with other stuff, but I will get back to it. We'll dial back in and bring in some more sales.
Good month this month. So
absolutely.
So that is the breakdown from last month. Hopefully it encourages you of what is possible. And like we said, this is just part-time hours that we're doing in this business. It's just what we've kind of geared our business toward, and we hope that it encourages you and helps you. So we love this business model of doing this, 10xing, even 20xing our business. If you would like to learn more of how we do our business model, you can check out our free workshop. We'll put it in the show notes below so you can see if this is something that could be a good fit for you.
You guys are amazing. Thanks for joining us today. Thanks for listening to how our business works. We're so excited that you're here. Guys, we cannot wait to see you on the next episode.